Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John and this is going to be what physical media I've picked up in the month of February 2022. But first I'm going to do a quick unboxing for you. So before I unbox this, I want to give a shout out to the channel on Instagram, the 4K Chef. Now Paul here messages me all the time on Instagram. I have great chats on here, and actually just as I've noticed when I've went onto his bio, I've noticed he's an OMD fan. Now I'm a big OMD fan, and I'll show you this, Paul. This is my ticket when I went to see OMD on the 5th of February 1986, which was cancelled from then. And I don't know if you were at that show actually, but it was an absolutely brilliant show. £5 on the balcony, can you believe it? That was at the City Hall in Newcastle. I had a great time. I'm a big, massive fan of OMD. To be honest, I think I own more vinyl from them than I own from any other band. Got all the records, all the singles up to a certain point, up until I think before they split up for that first time. I know they're back together again, and I haven't seen them since they got back together, but I know that I will be going to go and see them sometime, probably at the Sage in Newcastle. So that's another thing we've got in common. So anyway, so Paul messaged me on Instagram and said, he told me about this deal in here. So I said instantly, I went click, I'll buy one of them. So it's funny enough because when I've been in HMV recently, I do go past this title a lot. The cover got my attention, and it was on the list to buy, but I never saw it cheap enough. So because I've been after this movie, I was so grateful for Paul to sort of pick this movie out of fresh air, really, to say, have you seen this deal? And he's great for putting me on deals online, and I can get myself straight over there, because a lot of these things are things that I'm after myself, and it's great to have somebody like that. And I've got plenty of people who get in touch with us to say, have you seen this, have you seen that? So that's a great thing to be ahead of the game like that. And this, I've just checked, and this movie is still available on Amazon for the same price as I got it, which was $5.99. So thanks once again, Paul, do appreciate that. The _4K Chef, and he's also a chef as well, so hence the 4K Chef, and he's into his 4K movies. So deep joy. The movie that Paul told me about for $5.99 is Pig. Now this I don't know anything about this movie, I've got to admit. I have heard good things about it. I do know that Nicolas Cage, when he makes a good film or a really, really bad film, they are very enjoyable. And the title of this, just when you walk past it in HMV and you see Pig, I wonder what that's about, made me think that, you know, when I saw it at the right price, I would go and pick it up. Now, like I say, I like Nicolas Cage. I think he's a very good actor. He gets into some strange movies, some movies that you think, my God, what on earth was he thinking of doing that movie? But I have got quite a few of his things. I do think that he makes far too many, but if he wants to do that, that's his business. I don't think he's got to any sort of Bruce Willis stage yet, because Bruce Willis is making the most absolutely, I would say, moronic stuff. I'm a big fan of Bruce Willis, but I don't know why he sort of went that way with his career. It seems as if every single picture he has on his cover is the same picture of himself squinting off into the distance with a sort of like this sort of look on his face. But anyway, enough of that. So if you want it, the deal is still on. I'm filming this on Tuesday, the 8th of March. And once again, thanks very much, Paul. Really do appreciate that. Okay, so let's see what I picked up this month. First up, I got Master Z. This is an offshoot of Ip Man. I think Ip Man 2, actually. I think the character's in Ip Man 2, or even Ip Man. This guy is in this movie, and I think he plays some kind of either rivalry with Ip Man or somebody who is in Ip Man's side. And it's got an amazing cast here. It's got Michelle Yeoh with Tony Jaa as well, and Dave Bautista, or Bautista. He's brilliant. We are so want to watch this, but it's been funny. It's only, we can only watch these movies together when obviously we've got shifts together, and sort of February I don't think was very kind to us on that type of thing. But it's one of the ones that I do want to see. I've checked it out. The picture quality on here is absolutely stunning, and this whole Ip Man saga, you've got to see it to believe it. Especially the ones with Donnie Yen, they are just next level. They're good as martial arts movies, but they're also good as just movies in general, and they look absolutely fantastic. So that's Master Z, Ip Man Legacy. Next up, I picked up on DVD the double pack of Cannibal Man and Mountain of the Cannibal God. These movies, I've watched these movies, and I do think this one, I think Cannibal Man is such a good movie actually. Dying to upgrade this to Blu-ray. Once again, people have got in touch with me to tell us there's a Spanish Blu-ray out. So I'm just in the process of seeing what that looks like. And I don't know, I keep meaning to check my Amazon Prime to see, because everyone said it's on there. I just want to see if it's uncut, just so I can see it here, go over there and watch it. But if it's not uncut, if it isn't uncut anyway, it is on Amazon Prime as far as I know. I just think this movie is a brilliant movie. Mountain of the Cannibal God is not as good. It's better than I thought it was when I watched it the first time round, but it's got just that little bit too much animal stuff in it, and yeah, it does. Obviously, it makes a movie hard to watch, especially if you can't watch an animal-free cut like you can with the Blu-ray of Cannibal Holocaust. You can get all the animal stuff out of it. So if you've seen it once, you don't really want to see it again. So this one here, yeah, it wasn't that great for that. But the movie itself was quite enjoyable, I've got to say that. But obviously, no, I'm collecting all these video nasties this month, so this year. So I'm going to have to get into them. And these were two. And it's great to get actually for £10 or £15 to get these two on the same disc. So you know, it was a no-brainer to get this. And it's a decent version, and it's a one that I will be keeping this one on DVD, and I will be upgrading this one to Blu-ray. So that's Cannibal God. Wow. That's Cannibal Man and Mountain of the Cannibal God. So next up is one of the best presentations I've seen of video nasties this year. It is Don't Go in the House, the Arrow store exclusive. And this has this exclusive slipcover on, which you don't get on the one in the shops. It's got this flippable arch here, which is nice, and you also get the third disc, which has this VHS sort of quality arrangement on it, and it's absolutely brilliant. I think that Arrow should put more out like these, because I think 88, more of that coming up in a minute, do sort of like put these things out, these video nasties, in the same format, which I think is brilliant. I want to hope that Arrow continue to do this. And I haven't watched this one yet. I do need to watch this one and another one, and then I can rate all the previous 10 video nasties I bought this year in sort of the way that I think how they look and how I enjoy them. So that's highly rated if you can get this one as well, because this is, I knew it would happen. This, I mean, I got this for I think about £15 because I had some Arrow points that was posted, so I didn't think too much of it. And then when the sort of word got out about this one, I thought this is going to be one that's going to go for big money, and I think it's going for stupid money on eBay now. So it just shows you, the minute you hear about one of these, if you want to get like one of these exclusive ones with some features on, or this slipcover for instance, you're best off pouncing on it straight away on a pre-order, because these things just go crazy. So highly recommended. Although I have seen the movie, but I haven't watched this version yet. So that's Don't Go in the House. Next up is an absolute gem. It is Lady Street Fighter. This is an incredible movie. Don't get me wrong, it's very bad. It's very I don't know, very cheap. It hasn't got any flippable art, believe it or not. But it's just one of these movies that you get and you think this is one of the best things I've ever seen. It is so laughably bad, but entertaining at the same thing. I think that's one thing you've got to remember about these movies. If someone says, why on earth do you get something that's awful? Well, if it's entertaining, then it's not awful to me. And if a movie could be the biggest blockbuster you've ever seen in your life, if you're sitting there bored, it is a rubbish film. And this had me going right from the word go, and it's kept me engaged all the way through. It's a spectacular release from this AGFA subsidiary label to 101 Films, and I just think they're doing a great job with these movies, and I will be getting all of these on slipcovers, and hopefully they will carry on in this. I don't really want them to release anything out of the ordinary like Citizen Kane. I want them to just release these type of movies, because to be honest, all the ones that they put out, I haven't even heard of them, didn't know they existed, but for most part I've had a great time with them, and this is another one. So that's Lady Street Fighter. Next up is something I've saw on the shelves for a long time, and I finally relented to buy it. It is the Poltergeist collection. Now, funny enough, when I bought this one, because I have got Poltergeist originally on Blu-ray, and I don't know if this is the same one or a different version, but I got it anyway for this set. My son's actually got it in his room at the minute. Speaking of my son, we went to see The Batman the other day, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and so did he. That was the second time he's seen it, and he's going again with his girlfriend this week. Wow, can you believe it? So I was thinking about, and I haven't asked him yet, I was going to do something like a bit of a review with the Batman, and I was asking him if he wanted to take part in it. I'm guessing the answer will be no, but you never know, because he's got a lot to say about, he's quite a bit of a, he was a big fan of Batman, and he's got a lot to say about Batman, I would imagine, so you never know, that might come up. So if you don't say it, you know it didn't happen. He would have just said quite blankly, I'm not doing that. But anyway, getting back to this one, when I wanted to see Poltergeist 2 for the longest time, so I thought I'm going to have to relent and get this. And of course, when you get it, you realise there is a Poltergeist 2 Blu-ray when I was just mooching on the shelves the other day, actually when I was out with Ryan. And so I could have picked that one, but I don't mind, because this here is a good set. Actually, all of them look really nice as well. So I was happy to pick that up. I did want to get it a bit cheaper, but for £20, I suppose you're getting 3 films, and I will be watching these quite soon. So that's the Poltergeist collection. Next up is Last Night in Soho. Now I watched this the other night, and I've got to say, I really enjoyed it, I think, but I was quite surprised at how much it didn't really have in, and I'll explain about that. I'll probably explain more when I talk about the movies I watched in March. But yeah, it kind of, I will be sticking with the Blu-ray. I don't think I'll be upgrading to the 4K. I did like it. I'm not going to say I had a bad time with it. I'm going to say I thought I was going to get a bit of a different movie. And the way I thought it was going to be a bit more different was it was going to be a bit more like a horror movie. This is a little bit more like a ghost story. When people say it's a giallo, I don't get giallo flavours from it at all. The music's great. Everything about it's great. It's Edgar Wright, who I really think is one of the best directors out there. And I just thought it just lacked a little bit something. So I don't really know what that is. But I found that I thought, is that it at the end of it? But it's got a good story. It's got a good twist. It's got everything you would want. But I just thought it was lacking maybe a little bit in it's plenty gory. I just thought it was going to be a bit more of a straight up horror film, but it's a straight one, because I'm saying it, I liked it, but I kind of got a little bit of like a bit of a disappointment factor to it, but I can't really explain it. But it looks really nice actually, but I don't think I'll be upgrading to 4K, which was what I was going to do in the first place. I'm kind of glad I didn't spend a lot of money on it. I got it quite cheap. So yeah, so it's not a disappointing movie, but it did disappoint us in a fashion. Wow, that's what you call a review when it isn't a review, and it's just a lot of juxtapositions, if that's a thing. So that's Last Night in Soho. Next up, I picked up Scream. Now, I was after this for the slipcover, and unfortunately in HMV they didn't have any slipcovers. I didn't think there was an actual slipcover for this, but it was in CEX and I found it, a slipcover, so I immediately picked it up. I've got to say, this is a massive upgrade over the previous Blu-ray. The previous Blu-ray I thought was very poor. Really one of the more surprisingly bad Blu-ray transfers I've seen, actually. I don't know what's about it. It just didn't look good, or didn't look right. But this one looks absolutely spectacular. I can't wait to watch this again, because it's been a long time since I watched Scream, and I do really like it. I do like the sequels to a certain extent. I haven't seen a new one, but yeah, I don't know if I'll ever release the rest of them in 4K. I would hope it would do. Nice 4K box set would be good at this, but I'm excited to watch this again, because I did enjoy it at first. Well, I've watched it for a long time. Actually, last time I watched it was with my son, when I was introducing him to sort of horror movies at a young age. And I remember we both liked it, and he's got all of the Blu-rays in his section now. But yeah, I will be watching this one quite soon. That's Scream. Next up, I got Snowpiercer with a nice slip. This was a funny one, because when I got it from CEX, I thought to myself, this slipcover, it was a bit matte. There was no way will a sticker come off this, but it did, and thank God, and it didn't make a mess of it. The film actually looks spectacular to look at. Really, just realised that Ed Harris is in there. So, don't know anything about it. I do know it's directed by Bong Joon-ho, so that for me is a box tick, the big box tick. And I've heard a lot of good things about this, so interested to check this one out as well. That's Snowpiercer. Next up from 88 Films is Forbidden City Cop. Now, this is one of these spectacular releases that you get from 88 Films. This movie here, actually, it's Stephen Chow. Now, I thought it was a Stephen Chow movie, but it's not. Stephen Chow is in it, but it's not his film. Because I thought, I pretty much know about all of the Stephen Chow movies. He hasn't made that many, like himself. But this is more when he's starring in one. It seems more like a comedy. But I think he's a great actor, a great sort of martial artist, and just a great director as well, and a storyteller. So that's another one that's high, and I've got so many on the watch list now, it's absolutely crazy. But it will be getting checked out quite soon. When I say quite soon, hopefully this year. Wow. But that's it's quite hard to get with a slip on. When I saw the slip, I said I've got to get this one, because these slips from Kung Fu Bob O'Brien are absolutely spectacular. So that's Forbidden City Cop. Next up is the McPherson Tape. This is another one of these AGFA releases, and this movie here, it's a strange movie. It's only an hour long. It's a found footage one that's shot in videotape, and it is shot in videotape as well. I did think it was, I can understand why people wouldn't like this, but I've got to say I quite enjoyed this. I thought it was quite scary at times, and it did really sort of, it did what it said it was going to do. There is parts of it that seems to be quite dark, and you can't really make out what's going on. So it's a little bit one of those movies where you've got to know what you're getting into. It does say on the back of it, notice this movie was shot on VHS and edited on tape. Please approach the technical quality of the transfers with empathy. So bear that in mind when you get this. Bear that in mind. I'm not from Cornwall. Bear that in mind, because you will. I think you will get, if you know what you're getting into, I think you will enjoy this. I would say this is a good sale item, but I'm pleased I picked it up, and I did watch it. It's an easy watch at 1 hour, isn't it? So why not? So yeah, so it's another one who's got a great slipcover. This range is, I think it's just knocking out the park, and I can't wait for the next ones to get released, like next week. There's 2 more coming out. I think they're going to release maybe 2 a month, which is brilliant. And it's easy to collect. So that's the McPherson Tape. Next I picked up Jungle Trap. This is AGFA again. And I watched this movie and it's absolutely brilliant. It's probably the best one thus far from this range. Seeing the best one, it's awful quality. It's shot in a video, like videotape. It must be 0 budget, but I had such a good time with this. It does star again Rennie Harmon, who is turning into one of my favourite actresses. She can't act, there's no slight to her, but I don't think she can act that well. And she's got this amazing accent, which I would love to sort of rattle off some of the lines in it, but I wouldn't do it justice. But I'll get a laugh out of everything she says, because it's, I just think it's, you've got to hear it to believe it. It's just absolutely brilliant. So it does have another movie on here. I mean, this is a great cover as well, this interior cover. I think that these look sensational to me. They look like low budget movies that haven't got anything on which makes you think anything bar what they are. Bear in mind they are ultra low budget, but highly enjoyable. That's Jungle Trap. Next I picked up Delirium. This is a previously banned video nasty, and this is a great movie. I had such a good time with this movie. I thought it was so entertaining. I'd heard really bad things about this movie. I'd heard everybody who said when they watched it, they said it was one of the worst things they've ever seen in their life. I think mainly because it does use the theme tune for Mastermind. So the theme from Mastermind is one of the best things about this movie. The fact that they just stuck it in it this couple of times, even on the end credits comes out, and you just think, wow, I can't believe what I'm hearing here. But this cover's amazing, isn't it? 88 again are doing the most fantastic versions of these movies. They're just unreal, and for me, I'm going to get all of these with no exception, because I just think I just love this look of this movie, and they've done a good job with it as well. It looks pretty good, although not sort of Blu-ray quality. So the quality I would say is like a good DVD. That's Delirium. Next I picked up Censor. This is from Second Sight, and as you know, I mean, this set is so heavy. It's such a brilliant set, and for me, this movie does sort of talk all about video nasties. All the extras on here, and there's plenty of them, talk about the sort of video nasty world, and it's massive booklets. It's got a really nice looking Blu-ray in here as well. Brand new film, and I can't wait to look into it. I think that when I watch these 10 video nasties I bought thus far this year, I might watch this as well and sort of put that in the video to sort of talk about this one, watch all the extras on it, and pair them up with all of these ones and tell you what I think of these compared to each other. I'm quite looking forward to doing that video. So as well, I'm currently looking into getting some more video nasties as well, because I haven't got them all. So I'm going to set forward and collect some more in the next couple of months, and hopefully have another video every couple of months to say this is the update of where I'm up to in the collection. So yeah, so really interested to check this movie out. That's Censor. Next up is one of the best releases of this year thus far, I think. It is Night of the Demon. This, as I've talked a load of times, this is by far the definitive version of this movie. Don't get one from anywhere else. The picture quality on here is sensational for Night of the Demon. And to think that they've got this quality of this print now, after all this time, when it's been languishing in something that's been always an awful quality, struck from a VHS tape. It's just amazing to have this in my hands, and it's thoroughly recommended. Yes, the movie is a little bit schlocky, but that's what I like about this film, and it's violent as well. It's just got everything you would like from a previously banned video nasty. One of the harder previously banned video nasties. So that's Night of the Demon. So next up on subscriber mail from Ellen Smith, I was sent Forrest Gump on 4K. Now, as you know, I'm not a big fan of Tom Hanks, or I haven't been, and when he started making serious films, I tuned out. And I sort of said to myself, I just never watch another of his films unless it's a humorous one. And he doesn't, for me, seem to have made a humorous one. But I've been told of a lot of people, cut him some slack and just try some of his movies out. And after seeing Forrest Gump, I will do that. I won't go and watch all of his movies, but I will check them out a lot more than previously, which would have been none of them. And Ellen, along with Keith from Euphoria Pictures, linked down below. She is the fiance of Keith, and she just says, I've got to send John this one because he needs to see this movie. Now, I do, when somebody sends us something, I will watch it, and I've got quite a big list of what to watch of people, and it's one of those ones where I thought, right, I'll watch it and I'll get it reviewed on this month, and I had a great time with it. I do think the 4K on here, on all the outdoor scenes, looks absolutely amazing. I think that interior ones look a little bit dark, and I think that's why this one got panned as it came out as a 4K. But I think that's a bit unjust with this one, because the movie itself looks spectacular for most of the movie, and I can't see why anybody would rubbish it the way they did it. Because so, if you're sitting on the fence with this one, I would say pick it up. I think you'd be more than impressed with it. But as the movie went, I had a great time with it. And once again, Alan, thank you very much for sending me this movie, because it's opened my eyes to the fact that it is, I think, a decent film, and I did really enjoy it. And it's rough at times. It's very, very emotional in times, and I was struggling to get through it. But I suppose that's a good movie can make you feel like that. So once again, Alan, thanks very much. That's Forrest Gump. Next up is Galaxy of Terror. Now, weirdly enough, when I got this one, I've watched it actually. And I didn't really know too much about it because I hadn't seen it before. I just knew that I wanted to see it. And this is 88 films knocking out the park. Yet again, that picture on there is just absolutely, it's brilliant. This says everything about this movie. But it's really funny because this movie is very low budget, but it looks like it's very high budget. It's as I was told on my comments, that James Cameron actually worked on the set design for this, and you can see it, because really when you're watching it, it's like watching Aliens. Everything looks exactly like Aliens on a low budget. So if you like that look of a movie, and you like the fact that James Cameron is involved with this, then check this movie out. It is very gory as well. I knew it was gory anyway. That's why it was hard to get in the UK, because I think it was cut and stuff like that. But it was one of those ones where you think, is it going to be as good as I think it's going to hear about? But I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It's yes, it is low budget, but I think they get through it quite well, and I think that's to do with James Cameron's work on this movie, because it does look spectacular at times, even though you can tell there's a lot of low budgetness about it, which I don't like. I don't mind at all, because I'm well into me low budget movies, as you know. So that's highly recommended, and the whole set here with the slipcover is just for £15. You can't go past it. So that's Galaxy of Terror. Next up is Zombie Hunter. Now this movie here is just a cheap one from CEX. I got it because it's a couple of quid. It's got Danny Trejo in it. Now this, I don't know if he's in it that much. I think this fella's the main star of this movie. But it'll be one of those ones where I'll watch it sometime. It might be rubbish, it might not be. But usually when you goes, hey, what about that movie Zombie Hunter? Then you go looking for it and you can't find it, or it's out of print. Then you're better off just getting these ones, and if it's rubbish, then you can just get rid of it. But yeah, I'm really I do like these movies. I do watch a lot more low budget movies than I do watch big budget movies. So yes, it's another one on the sort of low budget watch list. That's Zombie Hunter. So lastly, I got, speaking of Danny Trejo, I got Machete Kills. Now this is a lenticular case, which looks, it's a really good one actually, because it's quite deep as well. I like that car actually. It seems to come right out of the picture. Wow. Yeah, and I do like the Machete films. So I'm a big fan of Danny Trejo, and I don't know if you can see, I've just looked there. You know, I think the words stick out as well. No, it's a really good lenticular. Didn't even know it was out in lenticular case. I don't know if the first one's got one. I don't think it has. But yeah, if it has, I might track that one down to complete this sort of set. And yeah, so that's another one to go in the low budget pile of movies to watch. So yeah, so that's it. It's been a great month actually, again, for physical media. A lot of band video nasties in there and some sort of real good classics in them Agfa ranges. Really excited. Well, I've checked them all out. I can't wait for the new ones to come out because I watched them instantly. So thanks for watching. You take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.